Okay, so today we're going to talk about what we call the linear parent function. The linear parent function is the line y equals x, which has the properties of going through the origin and having a slope of 1. So meaning for every y value, the x value is exactly the same. Okay, so if we were to look at the table of the linear parent function, every y value would be exactly the same as the x values. Okay, so it would create this pattern that goes up 1 over 1, up 1 over 1 through the origin. Okay, so the most basic parent function, meaning the one that we'll study and compare all other linear functions to, is the y equals x line. Okay, now this is a parent function because nothing has happened to the graph. We haven't changed anything in any way. So when we talk about y equals mx plus b, what we're really talking about is how has the graph changed in comparison to y equals x. So that's what we're going to explore in this activity. So as I go through the screens, you're going to answer the questions in the Edpuzzle, and then we'll talk more about this in class tomorrow. Alright, so is this an example of direct or partial variation? So in 8th grade, the thing that you remember the most is that linear functions go through the origin. Well, that is true, but only if they show what we call direct variation, meaning that the the slope of the line is directly proportional to the x. Okay, so because this line goes through the origin and has a slope of 1 over 1, it is direct variation. But as soon as we start changing the y-intercept, meaning adding values to the x's, it's no longer what we call direct variation. And we'll talk more about direct variation problems on Friday. Okay, so now let's look at linear functions that are not examples of direct variation because they no longer go through the origin, but they're still linear functions because they create a line. All right, so it says look at the blue graph as you move the slider. So if I remove the blue graph, you'll see that there's our parent function y equals x. It's going through the origin. It still has that slope of up 1 over 1, up 1 over 1. Okay, but let's see what happens when I start to change the b value of the line. So if I push play on our slider, notice that the graph now shifts away or upwards away from the red line. So let's stop it. Let's put this at 3 so you can kind of see what I'm talking about. Okay, so the red line is still our parent function. It's still our basic line that goes through the origin. But now our new line is crossing the y-intercept at 3. Okay, so by changing this b value, which you've studied before, what we're really telling the graph is we want to shift all of the x values up by 3. And so we talk about that in relation to the y-axis. So now our graph sits at 3 instead of at 0. Okay, and so as I change the y-intercept to a positive number, the graph shifts upwards. Okay. In relation to that, what happens if I make the b value a negative number? So again, there's my parent function, there's those basic y equals x line. If I want to make the b value be negative, let's see what happens to this graph. So if I push play on our slider, now our graph is shifting downward along the y-axis. Okay, so negative b values move the graph in a negative direction down along the y-axis. And the y-intercept is now a negative number. So negative b values make the graph move down away from the origin by however many units it says that the y-intercept is. Okay, so positive b's make the graph shift up, negative b's make the graph shift down. All right, so what is the equation of the graph shown here? Okay, and what is the equation of the graph shown here? Okay, now the other thing that we talked about is the m value. And again, we talked about m yesterday. M is slope. It's the change in the y's over the change in the x's. If we have direct variation, that value can change, but the graph will still go through the origin. But we're going to just talk about m in relation to our basic y equals x line. So again, there's our y equals x line. It's hiding under our blue line. As I change my slope and I make it bigger, okay, notice these are all whole numbers, so we're just shifting up by a whole number. What's happening to the blue graph? Is it getting steeper or less steep from the red graph? All right, if I put it at 6, do you notice that if I was talking about this in terms of like a mountain, let's say the red mountain is the one I'm climbing, and I get to a path and I need to decide, am I going to keep going up the red or am I going to start to go up the blue? Obviously the blue is harder to climb, so that's a steeper line than the red one. Okay, so sometimes when we talk about the slope of a line, we're really just wanting to know the steepness of the line. In this case, because it's a positive 6, it is steeper than our basic y equals x line. Okay, so as I get closer to 10, it gets steeper and steeper and steeper. So as m gets bigger, greater than 1 I should say, our line gets steeper. Okay, let's see what happens when m becomes smaller. Okay, so let's look at this. So we've got our y equals x line still going through the origin, still having a slope of 1 over 1. If I push the slider on here, these numbers are going to get really small. So notice they're all decimals. Okay, and if you notice, the graph is getting flatter and flatter. So if I were to stop this, let's put it at 0.5 because you know that that's 1/2. Okay, now our m value is a fraction. It's between 0 and 1. It's still positive because we're just talking about positive slopes right now. But notice the graph is flatter or less steep than the red graph. So when the m value is a fraction, in a positive fraction, it makes the lines less steep than the red line or the basic line. Okay, so by changing our slope to something smaller than 1, we are creating a flatter line. Okay, so what happens by knowing this information is we can predict what will happen to a graph given a situation. So in this case, we have y equals x is graphed. I want you to predict what will happen when we have y equals 2x minus 4. Is that graph going to be steeper or less steep than the red graph? Is it going to shift up or down in comparison to the red graph? Okay, so I am now showing you what will happen. So again, y equals x, that's our basic line. If I graph y equals 2x minus 4, notice that the graph, the y-intercept, has shifted down to -4. Okay, so you should have said that it will go down away from the original graph. And if we look at the steepness of this graph, it is steeper than the red graph because the line is increasing faster basically. If I'm climbing the red mountain, I'm at a pretty constant pace. If I have to switch to the blue mountain, I'm going to have to like really seriously work on my effort. Okay, so the blue line is steeper than the red line and it was shifted down by 4. Let's try another one. Okay, so predict how the line from y equals x, this is the red line, will for the equation y equals 1/4 x plus 1. So will that graph be steeper or less steep, and will it be shifted up or down? Okay, if you notice, y equals x, that's our basic line. If I graph y equals 1/4 x plus 1, the y-intercept of this graph shifted up 1, and the steepness of the line, it actually got less steep because now I am climbing a flatter mountain than I was if I was on the red path. Okay, so a fractional slope, meaning the fraction in front of the x, will make my line less steep. So I would say that this graph was shifted up 1 because the y-intercept changed to 1, and the steepness of the line shifted to 1/4. So it got less steep. Okay, so what you're going to do today is practice just deciding, is the graph steeper or less steep, and did the y-intercept shift the graph up or down? Okay, so finish the worksheet and then turn it in when you're finished so that I can look at your work, and then if you're still confused, we'll talk about this more tomorrow.